Welcome into the PHNX Daily Bet Show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and leave a 5-star review. I'm Shane Diefenbach, joined, as always, by Johnny Venerable. Johnny, how are we feeling on NBA Draft Day? Huh?
It's not quite the NFL Draft, which is my baby, near and dear to my heart. It's like how I treat my two shows. It's like the NFL Draft is PHNX Cardinals. The NBA Draft is PHNX Bets. You know, we show up, we go through the motions. We enjoy it to some extent, but it's not, you know, it's not the coup de grace. It's not the main course.
This is my magnum opus, Johnny. This show is art form at its finest for me.
Yeah, that's sad if you think that. But good for you. But no, I'm excited. There's a lot of tasty nuggets. I think some money to be had on DraftKings.
Yeah, definitely. There was a lot of weird stuff going on last night. If you're a part of the betting Twitterverse, you would have seen it. My God, nobody knows who's going number one.
I think we do.
Well, from an odds standpoint, last night on DraftKings and many other platforms, but mainly I saw it on DraftKings because it's the only relevant site. There was some weird stuff going on with Jabari Smith's odds. He was, I want to say, minus 600, or he skyrocketed to minus 600 after he was minus 350. And then he went down to a pick'em, I think, I want to say, between him and Banchero.
I thought it was minus 200. Now it's minus 350.
And then it went to minus 200, and then it went to minus 350 where it stays now. So those are the odds right now. DraftKings has him to go first overall at minus 350. And then Banchero at plus 200, Chet Homgrem at plus 1,600, Jayden Ivey at plus 15,000, and then everything else kind of just falls. It's not really relevant, but you have, I think, a consensus top four. I would assume it's Jabari Smith, Chet Holmgren, Banchero, and then Jayden Ivey.
Correct.
But I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I'm fired up, and that's why we do the damn thing, because there's money to be had here.
Listen, I told you before the show started, Chet Holmgren at plus 1,600, just to throw $10 on that on DraftKings to go first overall, is very enticing. Because here's the interesting thing. We've established right now, the best odds on DraftKings to go first overall are Jabari and Banchero. Clearly a step above. But Banchero does not seem to be does not seem to be an option. I like to Banchero. He does not seem to be an option for Oklahoma City at pick 2, which I think is fascinating because you look at if Chet makes it to pick 2, minus 500 right now via DraftKings. Greetings from Paris. Hey, Valley boys. Whoa. Oh, love that. Would love to visit Paris one day. But the problem with Chet is his first name is Chet. The connotation with that, Chet Tom Hanks is alleged son, one of the worst human beings alive. Terrible. So Chet Holmgren, thank God he's not going to be a Phoenix Sun. Because I don't think I can handle that, talking about a Chet regularly. But I do think it's fascinating that he is not an option to go. He is an option to go second overall, but his odds to go first overall are third best. It's a little bit because all these teams need everything. If I'm looking at the Orlando Magic and the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Houston Rockets, those are gut jobs. Oklahoma City has 100 picks in the next couple of years. You just go BPA.
This is why the odds are what it is. Chet Holmgren didn't submit his physical to the Orlando Magic. So they were concerned about that and pretty much said he's almost basically off the board to go 1. That's why the odds have shifted so much. In terms of a playing standpoint, who do you think, if you needed every position, what's your top, who are you taking right now? Number 1.
Oh man. Probably Jabari, because here's the thing. If I'm Oklahoma City, I can take some big swings because I have so many picks. But if I'm a team like Orlando, I just need to hit a couple doubles. Yeah. And this is not a NBA draft where there's it's a Zion S type of prospect that's the quintessential number 1 pick. Can I just get a guy who I think, in 5 years he'll be an all-star? Like that's what I need, right? And I think that's what Jabari Smith is. He comes from a university, he played in the SEC, comes from a university that has churned out some quality pros. I think his measurables are elite, 6'10", 220, smooth with the basketball. Like, I can't roll the dice on somebody first overall named Chet. But I look at those odds at plus 600, 1,600. That's why I think he's much more of like he's a gamble. We know that. But Oklahoma City, you can do that when you've got an infinite draft
Exactly.
picks. Whereas if you're Houston or you're Orlando, like give me guys that have played at the highest level. Give me a guy from Purdue. Give me a guy from Duke. So that's kind of my thought process around it. I don't love it for any team other than Oklahoma City, and that's probably why he's favored to go there.
Yeah, it's a good point. They I mean they have mulligans essentially.
Yeah,
and they can take swings like that. Chet is a guy.
Then again, the Sixers did that for so long. They had all those picks and they missed on damn near all of them. They did that approach already.
Chet is definitely a boom or bust guy. I mean, super unique body, very. It's easy to say that he is too skinny. He's too whatever, and
well, Durant couldn't put up 185.
Exactly. I was about to bring him up, but Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant. He had a work ethic that was well established. There isn't. I'm not saying Chet Holmgren doesn't. I'm just saying there isn't really that much buzz around him in terms of what he's like and his intangibles. Durant had that. People knew that him coming into it.
Chet Holmgren's arms, can we just be fair, look like pipe cleaners. Like I was doing some crafts with my children yesterday, and we use pipe cleaners to make, like a Forky or something like that. And it looks, I pull up a picture of Chet, like Forky from Toy Story, Forky. And you use pipe cleaners to put his arms together. That's what the Forky they made look like Chet Holmgren. And I'm like, this is the top draft pick. But the NBA, it's never meant less to have, because it's such a finesse league now. It's such a 3-ball league. You have to have length and size. I don't think you need strength. I don't. I mean, DeAndre Ayton's, one of the strongest players in the NBA for his position. And I mean, I don't think it matters.
Yeah. CL asking, you think we're gonna make some moves today? I do. I think something happens today.
Don't tease everybody.
Johnny, I do want to say, this morning you tweeted out two things that contradicted each other. You tweeted out Gerald dropped the KD to Phoenix news, and then like an hour before or after, you tweeted trading DeAndre Ayton would be a huge mistake for the Suns franchise. Do you think there's a world where they get Kevin Durant without trading DA?
Yes, I do. No, I don't. Get rid of DA, Matt. Wow. Sheedy all over DA this morning. Here's what I think. I think that the Kevin Durant trade is a pipe dream, and I just like to fuck with Gerald. And I asked him yesterday, and he told me that this is insider to insider. He did not see it happening. So I was just messing with him on Twitter. I look at, we talked about it throughout the postseason. I look at Boston and what they did and the patience they had with their young players. DeAndre Ayton was a top 3 pick a couple of years ago. Like, don't sell the farm for a bunch of lottery ticket picks that are going to be scrub bench players. Don't sell the farm for, I mean, I don't want the Suns to get older, right? I don't want them to be in a position where they're trading DA for, you're going to get 1 to 2 years of quality play from, I don't even know. I haven't heard one DA trade that I like so far. I don't care that the Pistons are going to pay him the max. The Suns should pay him the max.
Yeah, I don't mind the Capella ones, but you have to be able to get more than just Capella. I hate Miles Turner ones, but the one I really do enjoy is also a pipe dream. Obviously, if you can't get Kevin Durant, then everything's kind of a waste. But I would be okay with Spicy P in the Valley. I would be okay with this Pascal Siakam. I don't think that will happen. I think they're moving other pieces. Aside from that, obviously we saw what happened with Jeremy Grant yesterday going to Portland. Portland's trying to win now, and I think that's the first domino that falls, and it opens other things.
When you make a trade in the NBA, let me educate everybody on this show, like I do every day here at noon Pacific time. When you make a trade in the NBA and you have the best player in the trade and don't get a better player in return in the NBA, you lose that trade.
That is every league.
No, that's just the NBA.
No.
You lose that trade. And the only way you can compensate for that, again, education here, folks, get out your pen and paper, is if you get picks in return and hit on players down the line. The Suns are not trading DA for picks. So if they sell him for a bunch of spare parts, you think
Pascal Siakam is a spare
You
part.
go open your kitchen drawer and you find just a bunch of knickknacks. That's what dumping DA off today for a bunch of B and C players. That's not helping you win a
I don't think
championship.
they're going to be in. I don't think that's what they're going to do if they do trade him.
That report that the Suns this morning that came out, come from Shams or somebody from ESPN, Mark Stein, that said that Suns don't value DA. They're going to trade him and they don't want to pay him the max.
That sounds like other GMs fanning the flames. That doesn't sound like the Suns would not have released that information. That this is what it is. As Gerald always says, it's smokescreen season. The Suns didn't say that. It's other GMs that are saying that. It's people around the league that are saying that to try to lower his value. People that think the Suns don't know what they're doing, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're talking about.
The Suns might trade DA for John Wall right now. That's what
dude, John Wall is going to get bought out.
John Wall's salary. I'm not sure if you see this or not. $47 million.
Oh, I'm very aware. He's
stealing.
That is something I've talked about. If he does get bought out, wouldn't hate it as long as you're not paying the man. All right, let's do what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the draft, and all of the odds are available on the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. As I said, you can go anywhere from taking who's going to go first overall all the way down to who's going to go 10, I think. Yeah, you can get the 10th overall exactly. If Johnny Davis is there, he's going 10. I'll give you that. You can take who's going to go in the top 10. You can bet on over/under on draft positions, who's going to be drafted first for what respective team, and who's going to be a first-round pick or not. This mic is falling on me right now. Sorry. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use that promo code PHNX when you sign up. Bet just $5 on the Stanley Cup final. It'll probably end tomorrow, so get those bets in ASAP. Get $100 in free bets instantly, no matter what. That's promo code PHNX this week only at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. That's 21 plus in Arizona. Oh, well, no, we changed it. Hold on. Let me find it.
While
21 or older, Arizona only, new customers, only minimum $5 deposit. Restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Sorry, I got the old one ingrained in my head. Yeah, so I mentioned it, Stanley Cup final. We had some picks yesterday. We can talk about them really quick, but we'll get to the NBA draft in a second, so stay tuned for that. I do just want to give a piece on this. Congrats to the Avs. They have a chance to win the whole damn thing tomorrow in Colorado. Nazem Kadri, I didn't know he was even available to play. I thought my app was malfunctioning when I got an update that he scored the game-winning goal.
You use a flip phone?
I was busy the entire day. What?
Your app was malfunctioning. You use a flip phone? Yeah, no. And then you did this. Like you were opening up a flip phone.
No, looking at my phone. So yeah, we'll have picks and props for that game tomorrow. So make sure to tune in right here. Johnny, what are your most intriguing odds? I know you have a couple picks.
I got a couple picks. I got a couple props, some tasty nuggets. Let's check them out right now. I love prop season for drafts. Keegan Murray, 4th overall, seems to be the consensus. We're going to get Chet, our boy Chet, Jabari, and Banchero. They're going to go top 3. So if you can get Keegan at plus money right now, I think this is all telegraphed. I don't know what the top 3, the order is going to be, but I like.
You think actually? You know what? I was so dead set on Jayden Ivey going forward because I think he is like just such a high talent to not grab him after the consensus top 3.
Yeah.
But now that I'm thinking about it, you know who has the 4th overall pick, Johnny? The Sacramento Kings.
That's right, baby.
They're going to miss on Jayden Ivey. They're going to take Keegan Murray, and Jayden Ivey's going to become a stud. I guess they don't need him with De'Aaron Fox, but it's Jayden Ivey. I like that. I like that a lot now that I think about it, Johnny.
I know my hoops. I'm a hoop man. Hoop dreams. A.J. Griffin, supposedly the Knicks want him badly, so that means somebody is going to either trade above the New York Knicks or take him above the Knicks. The Knicks pick 11th. So this is all telegraphed. The Knicks never get the player they want. Anytime we talk about a player, their floor is, they're always going to go above that. So his floor is 11. So if I can get plus money at him, plus 200 to go in the top 10, hell yes. 18 years old, had some injury concerns at Duke, obviously, but I think is going to be a long-term buy for some of these teams that aren't like the Washington Wizards, right? Whatever the hell's happening, you just mentioned the Trailblazers are trying to win. Bullshit. That's a rebuild if I've ever seen one. All these teams that are like half decades out, you can buy incredibly low on this guy, and I think this is a top 5 prospect if he's healthy. That's why I went to Duke. And then Jalen Williams, supposedly the Chicago Bulls are sniffing all around him. I think his over under right now on DraftKings is 15-16 as his draft positioning. So you can take the over on that. I think he ends up a Chicago Bull at pick 18 at plus 500. I'm from Chicago. I know people in the know there are saying that he's a realistic option for them. So again, I like some of these bigger swings, but doing your homework a little bit, kind of read the tea leaves. So I'm building up. Progressive getting builder to bigger odds here because I want to take home some money on my favorite app, the DraftKings Sportsbook app. That is until we get a PHNX app. That'll be my favorite app then.
I definitely don't hate those. I hate this though. CL saying, what do you think of this projected lineup? Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Mikal Bridges, JaVale McGee with a bench of Cam Johnson, Aaron Holiday, Torrey Craig, Biyombo, and Landry Shamet.
That'll be great.
So, there is no situation where the Suns go into next season with JaVale McGee as their starting center. They'll get a mid-level exception guy or something. There's no situation where that happens. That's impossible.
Can I just say something? Centers are overrated unless you have one of the best, and I think DA can be one of the best, but I've seen too many teams win with small ball. So to me, I don't hate that at all. If you're getting Kevin Durant,
well,
and
JaVale McGee can't start at center is what I'm saying. He can't. He can't, Johnny. I watched 82 games this year. He can't start at center. Okay.
KD can play power forward.
Yeah, fouls and everything. And I don't think Biyombo will be on the roster if that happens either. I think they'll go out and, as I said, MLE a guy, find somebody. There's a lot of names out there.
It's like the Heat did when they had their big three and they just built the rest of the roster with spare parts. The Suns can do the same thing.
Yeah. So I wouldn't. I mean, I would love Kevin Durant to be here, but they'll find somebody else other than JaVale McGee to play the center. All right, here are what I like. These are my three favorite props for today. Dalen Terry, the University of Arizona, 22.5 is his over under on picks. I'm taking the under, plus money, plus 140. It's a guy that can provide you some upside, or can provide you a spark immediately. He's a lot of upside, long, saw him play a lot. Big fan of what he can do. He's definitely going in the first round, but I think he's going to go under 22.5 picks, and getting that plus money is just fantastic. And then Tari Eason, another guy who I just love to watch because LSU was one of my favorite basketball programs. He talk about upside. My goodness, power forward, long wingspan, plays electric. I'm a big fan of this guy. He's projected to go at 17 to the Rockets on a lot of mock drafts. I think he might even go lower than that. But if the Rockets can get their hands on him, I think they take a big swing at him because, I mean, they're really early in their rebuilding. They're going to have to take a swing at somebody, especially in the middle of rounds or middle picks in the first round. So, yeah, I like his under at minus 110. And then this is just a swing. This is just a shot in the dark. Banchero to go first overall. There's a reason why he's not plus 800 right now, Johnny. Plus 200. It could happen. Throw $10 at that, get 20 back. I mean, it's a good little gamble to make. So I don't think he goes first overall, but there's definitely a possibility. And when you get that at plus money, there's no reason not to.
A good little gamble for a good little boy. We play in the big leagues over here with some of my props. If you're looking to cash in, you're going to pay your mortgage a couple months down the line. That's what my picks are. If you're looking to get a free coffee, or a coffee on the house, that's what Shane's picks are for. Can we talk about something real quick? Okay. Yeah, I feel like revisionist history. Chris Paul was a great acquisition for this Phoenix Suns organization. He did a lot to transform the culture. But do we remember what he looked like at the end of the season? He needed a walker to get up and down the court, right? It was evident. He's washed, right? If you're trading DA, don't roll your eyes at me. You're trading an ascending player in DA for a bunch of scraps. Clint Capella is ass. He's 28 years old. He'll never be as good as DA will be. And Chris Paul, who's 100 years old, you are getting worse next year. We have already seen the best version of Chris Paul with the Suns team. Why aren't the Suns doing everything they can to dump Chris Paul? I love Chris Paul as a player. I think he's a Hall of Famer. What do you mean they can't?
Nobody's taking on that contract, Johnny.
You don't think the Lakers as a salary dump to pair him with LeBron? I would even
yeah.
They'll buy out Westbrook and they'll get Chris Paul. I don't know how the numbers would work. You don't think any team in the NBA would take on Chris Paul's contract?
No, they would give him up for nothing. No. Talk about trading for scraps. No, definitely not. Johnny, I don't want to trade DA. That is not what I want.
I feel like there's some people out there that would
there are definitely people out there that want to. I'm not one of them. Pay the man, as John says. You pay DA if you can. If you can come to terms, sure. But if not, you're going to have to find something. They talk about this at length on the Sun Show. Go listen to their podcast. They are much more tapped in and educated on this matter than we are.
I'm every man today, and I'm every Suns fan. I got somebody in the chat. Let's go back to those comments here. John Doe, great name, by the way. I'm following DA wherever he goes. Born and raised in Phoenix, I don't care. I think John I have a little bit of a concern that if you get rid of DA for a bunch of scraps, a bunch of guys approaching 30, you've got Chris Paul, who's going to have to be carried through the NBA playoffs last year. I think Devin Booker's going to look around and say, this shit got old real fast. Literally, I'm going to demand a trade.
All right. Well, if you want to hear somebody that knows what they're talking about, watch the PHNX Suns draft show live at 4:45 today. It's going to be a very good time. Yeah. You got four people that know what they're talking about. So go ahead and watch that right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. We'll be enjoying some quality time with the people of the Suns chat, the draft, some food, and a bunch of producers in the room. It's going to be a good time. Plus enjoying some Four Peaks. But everybody drinking here will be 21 or older, and they will be enjoying responsibly. So make sure to do that. And remember, tomorrow we'll be talking about the Stanley Cup final and recapping the draft, but definitely tune into the draft show at 4:45 right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. Johnny, anything else before we get out of here?
John in the chat, he says, that's the feels for sure, Johnny. Yes, I'm the man of the people. Everybody and I agree that the team is going to get old real fast if you get rid of DA. No PHNX Cardinals live today. We're going to give all of our attention to the Suns and the NBA draft. Well deserved, but we do have an audio only pod dropping later today. Myself, Bo Brock, we talk about the what if the Arizona Cardinals had traded up, not for Josh Rosen, but for Josh Allen. It's the start of our new What If series, audio only series for PHNX Cardinals. It's extra tasty. So what you can do is to get ready for the NBA draft, you can listen to that, transition right in. Do you guys know what you're eating during the live program tonight by chance?
It's not decided yet.
Ooh.
Saul wants a combination of Chinese food and pizza, and hell no.
No, that's what Lindsay wanted. Lindsay wanted that.
Lindsay wants that. Oh, I'm gonna give her so much shit when she gets here. All right. Well, as I said, every Monday through Friday at noon, right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. Watch that draft show, 4:45. Make sure to turn your notifications on so you don't miss a thing. We'll be back tomorrow at noon. You can follow me on Twitter at Shane Deef. You can follow Johnny on Twitter, sexy as always, apparently, at Johnny Venerable. You can follow the show on Twitter at PHNX_bets. We'll see you tomorrow at noon. Peace, love.
Oh, geez.
Peace, love, and draft position.